And 3, and 2, and 1. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
In the House of Craze tonight, we have a repeat offender. It is Miss Lori Calcaterra. She's going to be on talking to us about Path of the Pale Rider, issue number 4. We're also going to be talking about Kickstarter and trade paperbacks. Are trade paperbacks a good idea? Let's do it, man.
Get it!
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Cast the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the Dreamer, Medina, and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Seb, the crazy man, Vera. And I am with
George, the Dreamer, Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. We are back. It is Tuesday, October 10th. Dude, it is October 10th. It's almost the middle of October.
That's crazy.
I know. We're coming to you live and direct. And if you haven't done so yet, you don't know who we are, you don't know what the heck we do, find out. Subscribe, hit the like button, comment, share the videos. We talk to indie creators about the indie projects, and we also do some other stuff like, give you insight into the stuff that we've learned about the indie game. So,
what's up, Paul?
Yeah, what up, Paul? Hades in the house. So we're going to be talking to Miss Lori Calcaterra. This is her, I guess it'll be her 4th appearance, because every time she has a book, she's been on. So this is book 4.
Word. I gotta stop paying. She gotta pay rent,
bro. We just I mean, she's
the squatter.
She's killing it. She's killing it. Her book Path of the Pale Rider is killing it.
She's found her lane. It's
about death, broken death. Big shout out to Technic-Gods. What up, Michael?
Can you be broken and dead at the same time?
She found a way. I have so many questions. About this book. But yeah, it'll be fun talking to her. We're going to be talking about, the topic of the day, which I said in the soft open. So I'm coming for rent. And it is going to be about trade paperbacks. Are they a good idea on Kickstarter? Specifically on Kickstarter. Now, obviously, other crowdfunding platforms, specifically Kickstarter. So, but before we do all that, what do we talk about? What's going on in the world of the Craze? What's going on with you, Sammy? What you got going on?
What's going on? Just came back from the Arlington Comic Fest, which was very lackluster. I think it was affected by the Texas
Fair.
I got this big thing going on in Texas, the hoedown. I forgot what it's called,
is it a Texas?
The Texas, the something
State
fair.
Fair or something.
State fair. There it is. We don't have those things back in Queens or Brooklyn. We got block parties.
we used to have in Westchester County. We used to have the Westchester County Fair, and that fell apart after all the muggings and the killing.
We had block parties. We would block off the corners, and the family start cooking. But so that put a damper on it. So it was lackluster. I was hoping that the last convention for me for the year would be like fire, and this was like not even smoke. I was like, hello. I was like, SOS. Most of the time we were all, the vendors were just talking to each other. But so that happened, and but I will be November 4th. I will be at Geek Out for the grand opening of their new location. I'll be there with Marco, who's actually one of Lori's artists. He's an artist with her. Paulie Giggles is going to be there, a bunch of other people. Paulie Giggles. And so it's going to be I'm looking forward to that. So, we'll be at an LCS. I'm doing a book signing, and that'll end the year for me. And then we'll see what happens in 2024. But also, Duty is on Kickstarter right now. So we're on the second week. This is officially the second week right now. There's Nailing in My Toilet. 6 issues. Issue number 6 is there. And again, if you make a physical pledge, just for pledging, you'll get this print, Duty Juice. Who doesn't want Duty Juice? You're gonna brand that. Anybody wants some Duty Juice? Duty Juice. Duty Juice.
No. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this.
I didn't pick up on it until after I wrote it out. I was like, damn, Sam, you just keep. It just does it to itself, right? Duty does what Duty does.
The jokes write themselves. The jokes
it just writes themselves. That sounds gross. It's full of vitamin C. And it's good for your tummy. But if you make a physical pledge, you'll get that just for making a physical pledge. And we are, I think, $230 or $70 away from unlocking the first stretch goal, and 22 backers from unlocking the first backer goal. And each time you have an opportunity to win something, to get some free stuff. So I'm definitely not saying his name 3 times. Duty. But I'll say it. That's my boy.
Oh, God.
And, so that's going on right now. We're on week number 2. It's been a slow week. It's been a painful week. I have the Kleenex on the back. I've been crying before the broadcast, but I believe in Duty, and I think we're gonna pull it out at the end. But we'll see what happens.
I believe in Duty. We're gonna pull it out in the end. You really have to watch what you're saying. Really? Just watch what you're saying.
What's funny? It's just I'm just talking, and then when I listen to it, I'm like, oh damn.
Oh, damn.
I was like, oh dear.
Wow. Okay. Well, talk a little. There's one more thing that you always forget to mention about Duty, and that is a kid in the comic. Come on.
Oh yes, yeah. Duty is in a kid in the comic, and I messed up because I had a customer come to the. One of the few customers that showed up. He's like, hey, do you have the second issue of a kid in a comic? I was like, yeah, it's at home. And I was like, damn. So, but yes, Duty's in the kid in the comic. The third edition is actually being shipped out now. But if you go to Kid in the Comic, you can subscribe to this and have it delivered to your home, which is tons. I think it's like 30 comic strips from 30 fantastic creative teams. And Duty is one of them. So I'm honored to be part of this nostalgic piece of art and literature, which is fantastic. And you can go to a Kid in the Comic and get yourself a copy as well, or go to your local comic shop and request it.
True. Put that MA up. even Michael's sick. That's hysterical. Yeah. Kid in the Comic. Make sure you pick up an issue. Subscribe to the newspaper.
Yes, and check out the newest vlogs that's going to come out on the Art of Samuel this weekend, and it'll be from College Station Comic Con. And this one's going to be crazy because number one, my hotel room was almost broke. They tried to break into my room when I was asleep at 2 a.m. So that's one. I'll be telling that story. Nice. 2, I had a Duty fan come over and do what he thought Duty would sound like, and he reenacted Duty. And then I had a vendor who came over who subscribes to the channel, talking about why he subscribes to the channel. So it was fun. College Station, I got to meet a lot of people, but check out that vlog this week. It's going to be pretty sweet.
Are you going to do a vlog about the show?
The one for this past weekend? Absolutely. Got lots to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Subscribe to the channel right now. Go to the Art of Samuel.
Whoop, whoop. That's a sound.
It's like, yo, go to the Art of Samuel right now and subscribe to that channel.
You need to subscribe. It's going down for real.
That's going to be lit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Hey, something to look forward to. You know what I'm looking forward to, Sam? I'm looking forward to this weekend because the New York Comic Con is happening. So I'm having a special this weekend. The first 15 guests at our booth, that's booth 2040, who pick up a trade, The Adventures of Wonder Duck, will get that print right there for free. That print is done by Mr. Hector Rodriguez, who will also be at the show. He's going to be at booth 21.
Oh, he has a fantastic print that he did for the show, which is amazing.
Dude. Yeah, so pick up the print and then go to his table and get it signed. Make sure you go to his booth 2136. He's there with the fellas, Keith Murphy, Jonas Cabales, and they have a Kickstarter right now called Monster or Master #1.
I'm friends with a monster,
which ends in 13 days. Yeah, which ends in 13 days. But definitely, I can't wait to see you all at the New York Comic Con booth 2040. I'm gonna be there with my boy Johnny C. Johnny C and I will be there. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time, man.
He said Johnny C. I said Johnny Cyphex.
No, well, John's gonna be there too. John will be there on Saturday. But yeah, no, I'm gonna be with Johnny C. So we're gonna be chilling, hanging out. I'm gonna have the spinner. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna be giving things away. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. 12th through the 15th. I'm going out there tomorrow morning to set up. So I'll be there tomorrow, Wednesday, and then the show starts on Thursday. So I'm with you Wednesday. Show starts on Thursday. Tomorrow, Wednesday at 11 a.m., our guest that's coming on is also going to be on a podcast at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time called the Anyone World Showcase, where she is the new host. She's going to be talking about that in a few minutes. I will be on that as well. I'll be walking around the show floor at the New York Comic Con, giving you guys an inside look into what's going on inside that place. The calm before the storm. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. Also, Russ 5377. I won't have any books there.
I said I'm not going.
All out, dog. Wow. That's like all the tomatoes and shit. But you can still get copies of the book digitally.
I don't want it digitally. I want the signed copy for Mr. Medina.
At the Anyone World website. So go to anyoneworld.com and you can pick up issues 1 through 4 right now. What up, Anibal? Issue 5 will be releasing. Issue 5 will be releasing October 18th. Yes, Sam. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking.
Bro, can you let me get through
kombucha?
Oh, that's dangerous. Yo, let me get through my stuff. I let you get through your duty stuff. All right, go ahead, get through my stuff.
Oh, you're still giving a sermon. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry.
Sermon.
Let us all pray. Let us all pray.
This is sermon. All right, here we go. Ready? We're gonna continue now, guys. We're gonna continue. Where was I? Oh, yes. Anyoneworld.com. Pick up issues 1 through 4 right now of Russ 5377, and issue 5 is coming out next week. So get ready for that. What else is going on?
Issue 5 is the book that I can't get from you at the New York Comic Con. That's what you're saying?
That's right. You can get it online right now. You can get it online right now, Sam. Right now. Stop raining on my parade, bro. What are we doing? We're supposed to be. This is what happens with indies. We don't support each other. You see what I'm saying?
We do. But you know what?
This is my boy. This is my boy. This is my boy.
You know who you can blame it on? Blame it on the rain.
You're so predictable. You're predictable. Anyway. Enough about us. Enough
is enough. Is enough. I can't go on.
Yo, what is that in that kombucha, bro? What is in that kombucha, dude?
That's beauty juice. Kombucha. This kombucha is filled with beauty juice.
That's duty juice for sure. That is definitely duty juice right up the neck. Anyway. Let's calm it down. I pity the fool.
I love you.
I mean, is that broken yet? Oh,
is that right?
That don't fall at night.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Let's go into Get Your Mess. Let's get a little serious.
Hold on, I gotta catch my breath.
Can we get a little serious now, please?
Yes, let's get. Go ahead. Get your meds.
It's time for your medicine.
Are trade paperbacks a good idea on Kickstarter?
Woo! Let's talk about it now.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Let's talk about this. Now, you've done plenty of Kickstarters. What are you on number 7, 8, 9, 10?
This is 6 for Disney in my toilet, 3 for Cast and Craze, 3 for
Wow, that's do the math.
It's 12.
Yeah. So when you did your trades on Kickstarter, how did it go? Gee, bad to the hizzle. You gotta blame it on something. Word.
I did only one trade on Kickstarter, and
No, you did two.
No,
Forbidden.
I was gonna do the Forbidden one. I didn't do
you
it.
You did it? Oh, was that on Indiegogo?
I never did it. Never launched it.
Oh,
so people only have the first couple of issues of Forbidden. They don't have the complete. So I haven't actually launched the trade paperback. See, I would say I'm an anomaly because I don't have the Kickstarter followers that some other people do. So for me, I'm only speaking from my perspective. It was harder to push the Kickstarter for the trade because of the price point. Most people waited until they can get the actual individual explaining trades for newbies, right? They waited. A perfect example is even at the conventions. So I have the trade at a certain price point. They'll get the floppies because they're saving $5. Even though the trade has all of it collected plus bonus material, they'll get the floppies. So I think people are being more cost conscious, in my experience. They still get it, but they get the individuals versus the collected. Is what I've experienced.
Yeah. So just for Michael, so trade. We're talking about collected. When you collect all the issues, so like if you have the first 5 issues, you collect them into one trade, and that becomes your trade paperback, right? It's issues 1 through 5, issues 1 through 4, issues 1 through 3, whatever you want to do. That becomes your trade. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about collected issues, and I think, and this is what I think. And again, I backed a lot of Kickstarters in my time on Kickstarter. I backed like 200 and something Kickstarters, crazy amount, right? And this is what I as a consumer, right? If I know that you are coming out with a trade, I may not support every single campaign and just save my money and wait for that trade to come out and hit you off with one lump sum of money versus doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here comes the trade, another $35 or whatever it is going to be, because they're going to be a little expensive because you got to charge a certain amount of money so you don't lose money in these things. So for me, I think that if you have a number of issues, right? If you have a number of issues and then you're going to put a trade paperback, you're running the risk of losing some people and saying, hey, if you're putting issues 6 through 10 individually, but then you're going to put a trade, I'll just wait for that next trade and I'm not going to pledge for 6 through 10 because I know your trade is coming out. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So I mean, so that, to that point is, if you're gonna do the trade, don't announce the trade, do the serials, and then if you want to do the trade at the end, once you've done all, like I didn't do that, and that I think that was my mistake too, because I did the first 4 issues, and then I did the trade, which had 5 in it. Now, had I just done the first 5 issues and then the 6th campaign be the trade, it would have probably been a different result. But because I went straight to the trade, it was a little different. I know that people like JD Calderon, he'll do every single issue, then he'll collect it all into a campaign after he's released all the first issues. So he doesn't announce it until he puts it out.
Yeah. Well, and I'm kind of interested in the chat's live, so I'm interested in what do you guys think? Do you guys do you pledge the trades? Like what's the deal? I know that
you're only getting the emails because it comes through Kickstarter, so it's just a blanket email to everybody. Mike, it's a collected version of a few issues in one book, usually a complete arc. Not for me, for the newbies. I mean, for the newbies. Mike, not a newbie anymore, guys. He's been in the trenches. Yep.
Yeah.
Dr. J Meds making sense there.
Doctor. Thank you, sir.
But if you wait for the trade, you don't get the variant cover of special artist. Oh, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna misquote you, Annabelle. I was about to say mesquite. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good point too, because again, it's a shot in the dark. It all depends on who was it? I was listening to Brian Polito, right? And he says the customer's king, right? They're going to determine whether or not they want it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what your strategy is. It really matters on where the mindset is of the person who wants to back you or not, right? If they find it worth their time and money, they're going to do it. So I don't think there's a lot of things you can factor in, and you can argue both sides of the coin.
Because I have an argument for the other side. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I also think at the end of the day, it's going to be the customer if they believe in you and your product, they're gonna want it, right? So if they've enjoyed it, they're gonna want it. And some people prefer the trade, some people prefer the floppy, some people want both.
Well, and that's the thing, right? In a world of collectors and exclusives and all variant covers and all that other stuff, right? Some people want to never open those books and
Yeah.
keep them closed forever, and then buy the trade so they can read the actual story. So they use the trade to read the trade. So that is the argument for doing a trade on Kickstarter, because at that point now, everybody who collected the first few issues, they never have to open them. They never have to read the story. Plus, you also get PDFs. So you kind of don't have to open those books anyway,
Right.
ever. You know what I mean? So as a collector, if you're collecting those, yeah, maybe you have your collection and now you get your trade paperback. Again, it's a shot in the dark, right? You're taking a chance, especially how you price your trade, what you're pricing your trade at, 25, 35, 45. Because remember, shipping is what kills you on a lot of those things because of the weight of the books.
Yeah.
That's gonna put a hole in your pocket as the person running the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I prefer straight, especially from an indie, because it's not ever guaranteed they will have a complete story. It's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's funny because I ran into it just happened a couple of times at conventions where I'll have this is only with families, right? So they'll show it to the kid and the kid will pick it up, and the kids, they don't understand comic books and how to handle it. So the parent will go, you know what? I'm gonna take 2 number ones. One for me, I'm gonna save it, and one so that he can read it. And I was like, and he's like, nope, you never know if this pops off, but so I want one in mint condition, right? So you're gonna have the collector, right? That's gonna say, you know what, just in case it's a number one, I want a couple of those. You're gonna have people who just love variant covers, especially if they're homage covers, and if it's an homage to a favorite character or a favorite whatever it is, they're gonna want to scoop that up. Those things you don't get from a trade paperback, right? I think the trade is really for the person who wants it on the bookshelf. It looks nice and good. They can keep it there. They see the spine, they can grab it. Like for me, in the hallway, I have Infinity Gauntlet, right? So every Christmas I pull it out and I read it again because it's one of my favorite Marvel stories, right? So some people are like that. And again, the consumer is the king. They're going to tell you what they want. It's not going to be for everybody. It's a matter of taste. It's a shot. The pricing makes a huge difference, especially today when everything's so unpredictable. Especially if you're not scantily clad material. If you're not producing, adult content, which you're almost guaranteed to have a successful Kickstarter campaign. If you look at the top 40 campaigns right now, I think 90% of them are all with girls with big boobs and bikinis and all that stuff on the cover. 90%, right, of the top 40 Kickstarter comic book Kickstarters, right? So that's what's trending. If you're outside of what's trending, you have to be mindful of pricing. You got to be mindful of strategy. You got to be mindful of whether or not you've cultivated an audience. So there's so many things you need to factor in. No one is touching my PR duty. That one is displayed. Awesome. Yes, I have people who bought a couple of the PR covers because they wanted it to save it.
Yeah. That's what the variants, right? Variant covers are probably not going to be open. There's especially for like issues that are number one.
Yeah.
Number 2, number 3, number 4, unless there are, they call them key issues, right? Unless something's happening in that book, it's not really worth much to people, nowadays. Right. So, yeah. So, I mean, listen, if you have a trade coming up, I think that if you're doing single, if you're just coming out with a trade right off the bat, there are no single issues. It's just a trade.
That's a different story too.
That's a different story, right? You're just coming out with a trade. It's a one shot, 140 pages. That's all you're going to get. People may be more inclined to buy that because it's the only time I'm going to get the story, and it's a complete story. Yes. I'll buy that story right now because it's a complete story. Whereas, when you're doing the single issues, people may, do I want to? Do I not want to? Will I pledge to that? I think, like you said, and you said it yourself. I think had you done the 5th issue by itself, maybe that trade paperback with all that extra stuff probably would have done a little better because they would have already they wouldn't have had to feel like they had to buy issue 5 to get it in there. But some people may have been like, hey, I want issue 5, and the only way to get it is through this trade. I got to get the trade. Yeah. But it can go either way. That's the whole thing with our indie books. They can go either way. You never know what people.
And you got to think about it. I think I think officially 2 years now on Kickstarter. 2.5, 3 years. 3 years on Kickstarter. And when I look at and 3 different titles, right? So it was Forbidden, it was Catch the Crazies, then there's Name on My Toilet. Still working on building that online following, because there's a difference between the people who follow you on Kickstarter and the people who follow you at shows, right? And so, you know, you got to work 10 times as harder to because on Kickstarter, especially when you're like me, which is a kid friendly, all ages comic book, it's gonna be it's an uphill climb. So I think I learned a lot of lessons with every campaign, right? Try to include those variants covers are full of art. Yep. Number 2 is important for duty. That's a good one. I like that one. That was a good one.
Oh, you crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only thing you could do is learn, adjust, and read the audience. They're gonna tell you what they want, and you try to meet them in the middle. Tell the story that you want to tell the best way you know how, and then hopefully you add value and they come along. But trade's always tricky unless you have the name, you have the following, or you're following a trend. But if you're an unknown and you go straight for trade, it's going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. Yeah. But enough about us. Enough about the meds. Why don't we talk to
before we do? I think I got a trailer.
Yes, you
right?
do. You do. Yes.
Yes, I'm mad at you. So hold on 1 second, and after this trailer, we're gonna bring in our guest, Lori Calcaterra.
I like that music.
I do too. I'm over here enjoying myself. What's up, Lori?
Hey guys, how are you? I'm so glad to be here on the show. Hello.
You are back. This is your 4th time, I think, on the show. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lori. 4th time?
Do I get a badge, like friend of show badge?
You probably should. I think we give those away at 5.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, when you get here on the 5th appearance,
it's always the next
6th.
time. Number 5, can I get the badge? And you're like, I think it's 6.
6. I think we
now.
did 6. Yeah, we started 6 right before this show started.
I do have to say that Lori does have a mean high kick. Just want to say.
Well, when you mess around,
I'm getting a real close-up look at that high kick this weekend.
This is like 2 inches. That's like
that was exactly where it was supposed to be.
What happened this weekend?
Ronda Rousey.
I want to know what happened this weekend. That's what I want to know.
No.
Things that happen in Arlington stay in Arlington.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, this is like Vegas. I got you.
Check out the art vlog this weekend.
This guy's a snitch. He's a snitch.
I saw Arlise the weekend before at Cowtown, and she got some macaroons from me. So
macaroons.
Okay. They're so good.
That's awesome. All right. Well, listen. Let's talk about what we came to talk about here, Lori.
All right.
You have been putting a book out called Path of the Pale Rider.
Yeah.
It's issue number 4.
We're on issue number 4 for the Kickstarter right now.
For the Kickstarter, correct. Stay in Arlington. So let's give the people like a brief, like just what the story is about, and then I want to dive into that issue number 3 because that's all.
Yeah. So Path of the Pale Rider is a world where death has been broken. So your body, I'm sorry, Sam, he's heard this like 15 times, 16, 25 times over the weekend.
It's this weekend, yo.
It's like we were at the same con. If he was by my table, it was the same. It's the pitch. So Sam's probably, you know what? Sam could probably pitch it. Go ahead, Sam.
You do it. You do it better.
No. I'm just joking. But in Path of the Pale Rider, death has been broken. And what that means is your body can die, but your soul, your energy, it doesn't leave your body upon death. You don't transition. You're stuck in your body as you decay. And what that kind of looks like is we have undead and we have zombies, but they're not flesh-eating zombies. They don't crave brains. It's just you. It's me. It's Sam. And it's just like you can wake up dead and go to work, which is terrible. You don't get a dead day. You don't get to call in. It's a bad day, but you're you for as long as you can be. The way that your brain rots, really affects how you interact with others. So it's like dementia and fast forward, but in addition, your body is also rotting.
So this is my first question about that.
Yeah.
Do you feel pain?
You can. It's muted.
Okay.
It's
So it's
muted.
pain that you can bear. It's bearable pain.
It's pain. It's kind of constant. It just never goes away. I mean, I have a character that you're going to meet at some point where he has been burned to death. His
Wow.
body is still there. He is like, let's say like 3rd-degree burns all over his body. He's not burnt to ash. He's still like his muscles function and he can talk, but he is really disgusting looking. And
Damn.
someone asks him, they're like, does that hurt? And he's like, every damn day. So it's just kind of constant. It's not like agonizing screaming pain, but there's yes, Don, there are consequences to this world.
Consequences and repercussions.
Oh my gosh. You guys have to see my welcome video. It is the craziest welcome video on Kickstarter. Do you agree?
I agree.
I mean, I run myself over with a car in the first 2
and this is what I love about the campaigns that you're putting together, Lori. Like you're literally thinking outside the box in all of these things, and you've incorporated a lot of the things that your strong suits, which is you for a while, and for those who haven't watched you on our show before, you talked about before you got into comics, you used to choreograph fighting. You used to do you worked in videos. You did so about editing and all that stuff. And you edit all of the videos that you do for your campaigns. And they are some of the funniest, some of the most fun videos. Where do all these ideas come from, Lori? Like what do you have like a sheet of lit? Like what is it?
I pun intended, it pops in my head. Don, you like what I did there? It pops in my head. I don't know. I just did like sometimes that you get in that rut where you're like, what am I gonna do next? You know what I mean? Like Kickstarter videos are kind of, I don't know. It's like it's a love-hate relationship. We want to do them. We want to give information away about how the Kickstarter works and what is new and exciting, and who our art team is and like all the information. But literally people watch like the first 5 seconds and we'll click off of them.
Yes.
Put in all this hard work and then people don't really watch it anyway. So that's kind of where this idea came from is, Don gets what I'm saying. What can I do in the first like 2 or 3 seconds to catch people's attention and then make it like the information is there, but it's also entertaining. We laugh. This undead reporter comes in and just causes chaos in the recap, and like her eye pops out and she just says crazy things. Like I had fun and I learned a ton doing that little short 5-minute video. I learned a ton about how to green screen better and how to do that kind of back and forth with myself. So the next time I do it, it'll even be better.
Now, do you ever worry about it being too long for a video?
Not when I worry. Yeah, was too long. You try to keep them as short as possible, but because there was the antics that was kind of keeping it lively, it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's why at the end I was like, I'm just gonna keep going and like rattled off all that information at the end and let's go. Okay, let's go. I was just like, wrap this up. No more antics.
But you know what? I think that works well. I mean, you can put that on your YouTube channel and it'll get like views. You know what I'm saying? So you can definitely use these videos for other things rather than just the Kickstarter campaign, which I think is kind of like a great thing.
We made GIFs.
I saw the one that you posted today. You were like, what was that? Chicken fingers or something like that?
Chicken nuggets. That's what she said at the very end.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Ellie, is there any last words you want to say to the people before we go? And she's like, chicken nuggets. And like,
so for the people who have no idea who the hell Ellie is a character within the videos that you've been making for Pale Rider. So tell us who Ellie is. Yeah.
Let me back up. Okay, so Path of the Pale Rider is a comic book by Inception. Okay, so if you read the comic book, you will get the meat and potatoes of the story, the cowboy in the apocalypse, trying to figure out why the dead no longer die, all of that. But I also, because I really enjoyed production, I was like, right from the jump, I was like, we're going to do short films. So we get to explore more. Thank you. Yes. Oh, that's coming too, Don. Well, I'm working on that right now. I just got to like create more time in my day, which I don't know how. 26 hours would be great. So the short films, we get to explore more of the world building behind Path of the Pale Rider that maybe Jude St. Clair can't really allude. Like he might vaguely allude to it. You might hear something on the news in the background, but we get to dive deep into it.
Yeah.
And what I love about those short films is that the fans get to interact. So when I'm like, here's the topic we're going to do, here's the ways that you can participate, get in touch with me, like here's how you can be a part of this video as well. So the second one we did, I dressed up as a reporter named Ellie Brock, and interviewed the fans, either like the ones that were here in Texas. I interviewed myself. People could answer the questions and send me the video. So there was that option as well. And they could say whatever they wanted. So I would just go around and say, what do you think broke Death? And I'd put the microphone in their face and we would just play off of each other. And I got answers like sugar and GMOs and different, fast food, the government, viruses, aliens, voodoo pygmies, drugs. Right? I mean, just all over the place, right? And it was so much fun to play this character and to hear these conspiracy theories. But again, you got to go out with a bang. So at the very end, before I sign off with the desk reporter, I'm just like, oh, we really have no idea what's going on. Smash. So that's Ellie Brock gets smashed with the car, which is what we actually start the welcome video with, is that footage of Ellie getting run over by the car. So she is now undead, and this is the character that now I played against myself, Lori Calcaterra, writer, creator, Path of the Pale Rider. It's a little chaotic, but it's hilarious.
It's good. It's good. You did an incredible job with it. Here's my other question about death in your world. Decay.
Yeah.
We decay. Now, eventually, you decay to the point where you're nothing, right? So what happens when that is? Are you dead then? Like,
no.
What happens to you then? You know what I mean?
So
where do
bad.
You go?
You're still trapped in this plane of existence. There is no transition. There is no death. You can be burnt into a pile of ashes. You could be in your bones. You can't move, but you're still trapped here.
So
you are imprisoned in your bones. Whip, it's Al. What's up, Al? What's up, man? It's terrifying. And I've kind of alluded to that. I did a secret reward on one of the campaigns that was called The Bones of Despair, which if people are brave enough to get my secret rewards, they're kick-ass stuff that I make myself. And you won't be able to buy at the store or even comprehend making this stuff. It comes from my warped brain, right? So it was a handmade box, and I burnt a poem into the side talking about like when death is missing, decay sits the throne. If you hold a seashell to your ear, you can hear the ocean. What do you hear if you put a bottle of bones to your ear? Do you hear the voices of the damned? And then when you open the box, it's a glass bottle full of ashes and bones.
Jesus, Lori. So that okay. So talk to me about your secret rewards. What does that mean in the campaign? When you're checking to see what you want, and one of them is how many secret rewards are there? There's only one?
There's one per campaign. Yeah, there's only one per campaign. And they will move around in price just depending on what I'm putting together, what it takes for me to build one. The last one, I 3D printed a working disc. So in my world, the guys wear these, it looks like a circle. It has a red or green color to it, depending if you're alive or undead. It has like the EKG line. And then it has an audio component to it as well. So I 3D printed one of these for myself, and it does both green and red, and it blinks or it flatlines. And I opened that. I did it as a secret reward. Nobody knew what it was, right? And only one person was brave enough to back it because it was a little more pricey. Thank you, Dan. But that one, the secret rewards always come with like all of the books. So you get the main cover, you get all of the variants as well, along with this special reward. So one person got it. I made this for them, and then we took a picture and we posted it online. So now he's the only other person out there with a working disc besides myself, right? It's one of a kind, pretty much. Right. So this one, I think I said I could do 10. I could build 10 of these. The price is a lot lower. I think it's $85 with the full set of books. And they're all, like I said, they're all handmade by me. And I usually tell you after the campaign what it is. These are super cool. I always
right.
find super cool stuff to do. So
That's
I think
cool.
I think there's like 2 or 3 that have backed this time. So as people start to see the stuff I'm doing for Secret Reward, I think that more people will be brave enough to back them. I'm already working on what I'm going to do for the next one.
Let's talk a little bit about that disc because and go back into the story. Let's go back into the comic itself.
Yes.
For those who are just joining us, we're talking to Lori Calcaterra. Path of the Pale Rider is the comic book. This is issue number 4 she's got on Kickstarter right now. But issues 1 through 3. Now,
Yes.
first and second issue, the narrative, the way you told the story was you're already in the thick of it in issue number 1.
Yep.
Stuff has already hit the fan.
Yep.
Death is broken. You know, it's this one dude in an like lonely world trying to figure out what the heck just happened, right? Hey, what's going on, D-Wade? And so what happens in issues 1 and 2 is you get that world. You meet
yes.
the bear, right? What was the bear's name?
Big James.
Big James. which we have an origin story. We have an origin story. We do have an origin story of Big James in issue number 3. So 1 and 2, boom, you're in it. You decide to now take us back. In issue number 3, we go back to before anything happened. Well, the day it kind of happened.
The day it starts.
March 5th, 2020. March
Yes.
5th, 2020. Now,
yes.
I know that, and I've heard you say this in other interviews. You wrote this in 2018. So you wrote this pre-pandemic. You had no idea.
This pre-pandemic, people. So when you read issue 3 and you have PTSD, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
So that's my question, Lori. So there's so much in there. There's one particular line. Everybody's starting to get the disc. The government is starting to send people the disc to their homes, and they're making it mandatory to wear it.
Yes.
Was that language in the original script before that's crazy.
Yes, it was all there. It's all there.
All of that. Because I read it and I'm like, okay, she must have like edited this after the fact. Like, there's no way. Really?
It's all been there since 2018. And I'm telling you, George, Sam, my sister read the script.
Yeah.
Prior to 2020. And when stuff started happening, she was like, stop writing.
It was
stop it.
It's
insane. I was like, I'm not doing it. But it's like, again, things like this have happened before in other places and other times. If you look back to World War II, a lot of things that I'm basing this off of is oops, did I freeze? Sorry. Am I back?
You're back. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
So I'm basing this off of things that have already happened in history. There's been riots and unrest because laws have been passed, right? There's been symbols forced upon people based off of race, gender, religion. You know what I mean? This is stuff that humans do to each other. And I've said this before too. I point a really big spotlight at how ugly humans can be to each other. But in all of that, Jude St. Clair is still determined, is still a ray of light, and still has hope that he can figure it out. What set him on his path? And that's what you start to see in 3. Something big happens at the end. Poor George read it and he was like, why?
Yeah, that was sad.
Sorry. But we're going to see the repercussions of that in issue number 4. And we're going to, isn't it weird? We're not done yet either. We're not done. We still have more. You're going to see more that will freak you out. And it freaks me out too sometimes. That's why it's like, sometimes I wonder.
But you know, but see, this goes to show, and this is why I got to commend you. It's research, right? I think that you've done a lot of research to put this story together so that it's based on some truths. You know, it's fantasy. It's not real. But some of the stuff that you see, especially in issue 3, will bring you back to that time 4 years ago when we were going through it. And we had no idea what was going to happen. We had no idea how it was going to turn out. And I think that issue 3 does that. And I'm curious to see what you do in issue 4, because after that last page, and listen, and for those watching, pick up the book. I'm telling you, pick up the book. If you can only do like a digital bundle, like a catch up tier or something like that, do it, because
we have that.
Because it's a really good story, Lori. I know it sounds crazy, it sounds goofy, funny, haha. You do all these things and that, but there's a lot of heart. There's a lot of heart in the story, and the characters that we meet in issue 3 are basically Jude and his family.
His family.
You know what I mean? And the kind of person he was prior to this guy that you meet in issue number 1, it's like a completely different person. It's almost like, what happened to this guy? Well,
exactly. What happens to him?
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of the challenges of telling a nonlinear story, is that you get to see this developed character and they're all gritty and tough, you know, and he's just, you know, in the moment, right? And he has skills because he's able to survive things that you probably couldn't. But what happened? So when we go back and you get to see him from the beginning, I mean, like, we really didn't get there yet. So issue 4, when you get to see the trauma that kind of puts him on the road and starts his journey, you got to see a tidbit of what he was doing already. He was already interested in the conspiracy theories behind what started. He started a journal. He's watching TV. He's taking notes.
I see that. He's taking notes. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's already wants to know the why behind it. But issue number 3 was very much like being glued to the TV, watching current events happen, watching riots, watching historical things, watching the government overstep, watching just minorities then become aggressive and then become majorities. They will. It's like anything that they don't think. It's like they're passing all these laws to subdue the undead, not thinking that that's going to be me someday. You know? Yeah, it's like if there's no escape from this, people, animals, plants, insects, fish, nothing can die anymore. What thinks that you are not going to be a part of that law when you pass? I don't get it. But they're just thinking about their own survival and getting away from the danger is what it is. And then of course it's like watching the stuff on the TV thinking it's not going to happen to me until it does. You know, the apocalypse is in your house and at your front door, and now you have to deal with what's coming as opposed to just watching it on TV. So.
And I'll say this, Laurie, that would be easy to write if you had written that in 2021. 2022, that would be it's easy to write that because it happened. So there's a point of reference. Very little, I guess research to do. But when you're writing this 2 years prior to what we saw happen, based on all the research that you've done, that's why I got to commend you as a writer, because you've really done your job right at that point.
Thank you. Yeah,
I do have a question for you about the decision to write it the way you wrote it, the decision to write it in a nonlinear form. Why did you choose to give us 2, then 3, bring us back? Why did you do it that way? Like, what was the train of thought behind doing and writing it?
Because I wanted to show the nitty gritty. And now, again, when I wrote this, I wrote it as it's a screenplay. It's a full length movie. Because I came from production, I knew nothing about writing comics when I wrote this in 2018, and didn't start moving towards indie comics until 2020. And then everything fell apart, of course. So that's why we didn't publish until 2022, because pandemic was just terrible. But back in 2018, when you watch a Western and you see the cowboy riding in through the sunset and you see him riding in through the town, I don't know if you've seen the new Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington, those opening credits when he's riding on the horse, through all these different landscapes. That's what I had in mind. And it's almost us, you're slowly getting information in that first book because you're like, oh, it's a cowboy. Wait a minute, everything, that's a car and it's upside down. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, we're in an apocalypse. So you get that tidbit of information. You get that he's been up all night. You find a farm with a woman and a daughter, and you don't really understand that scene until you understand how terrible this world is, why she's acting the way she is towards him, where she's cautious, don't get too close, almost like stranger danger, don't talk to him, and he's like, I'm looking for Santa Claus. And she's like, grow up, sir.
Grow up, sir.
And he's like, no, not the legend, like the town of Santa Claus. It's supposed to be around here. And she's like, the names are all gone. There's a road, but nobody goes that way. So you're getting more and more information as you go until you start to see zombies. You just see like a zombie hand. So it's like, all right, there's zombies. And then you're like, why is he being so careful with that bear carcass? Until it stands up.
Right.
Panic. And then consequences, right? So that's why I was like, I wanted to have that very cinematic opening where it's like you're getting more and more information as you go. And then issue number 2, where it's like, all right, he finds the dude he's looking for. it's not who he thought it was. It's the town freaking drunk who's standing on a table spouting nonsense. So now what does he have to do to get information from this guy? What is he willing? How far is he willing to go, to talk to this guy? Because he's been looking for him for years. Finally gets there and they want to kick him out of the town. So he has to do things on purpose to end up in the same place that Dwayne Fink is. But then it's like they have this conversation that's very short, and I'm sorry, I'm a tease, but I'm like, Jude says to him, "You know how this all started, didn't you?" And Dwayne says, "Nobody believes me when I tell them."
Right.
And Jude says, "Well, I remember the first time I saw my first undead. I drop you into the extended flashback. So you still don't get to know what Dwayne Fink knows. Sorry, but he knows something."
Right. Right.
You'll find out eventually, but that was the whole point, is to like give information about the world, see how terrible it is, and then go back to the beginning and now explain the rules, right? Live through the chaos, understand through the news, like animals are affected. What does that mean? What is the, famine, because we can't butcher animals anymore or the
Right.
hamburgers move,
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah. Or like the fish are all piled up under the bridge, contaminating the water. So we have a water problem. We have major food crisis. Pesticides don't work. It's just a lot to happen in a very quick span of time.
No, you're right.
And then,
You're
of
right.
course, what happens to Jude and his family, of course,
Well,
is key.
and you know what, Lord, and that's the thing. You could have issue number 3 could be issue number 1, right? It could be like
Right.
because you're explaining, but that's boring, right? That's like to
It's
me,
boring.
it would have been boring. It would not that the story, not what you wrote in it is boring. I'm just saying to put it at the beginning and then give us a linear story. In this particular case, but I think it's more intriguing the way you did it, where you gave us what's happening. You leave us on a cliffhanger about Fink knowing something, not telling us what
Yeah.
it is, and now you're gonna tell us when it started, not how it started, but when it started and what's
When
going
it
on.
started and what it looks like after everything started to progress. But it's like we start with Jude in the wild. We get, very first issue is like the bear chasing them. So you got this high stakes moment right from the beginning to kind of grab people's attention, because when have you seen an undead bear before?
Right.
Right. And I mean, like, it's Big James. He's giant and terrifying. He can run faster than you. He can swim, he can climb trees, and now you can't kill it. So what do you have to how do you get away from this thing, right? So that was like the first one. The second one is like Western, poker games, saloon brawls, and then the tease, right? We know how this started, but no one believes me. And then it's like, okay, now let's explain really the ins and outs, because I think I've been talking about some of the crazy things for the
you
first
have.
couple issues where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, but think about it. What would happen to your food? But the third book explains it, right? So then it's like, okay, we can't do this. We're hungry. The undead are out of control. Government overstep. It just keeps getting worse. And it's like every day is something new.
When you were writing this, though, were you ever afraid that it was going to be that you were writing something that was going to be too much to kind of like explain later on? Did you ever have that fear of like, holy cow, maybe I opened up Pandora's box and I don't even know how to close this thing right now?
But that's why I decided early on to do the riddles and the short films, because Jude St. Clair's story, you will not get all the extra detail that we give you in the short films and in the riddles, because the riddles give you interactions like you're a part of the world as well. For example, the second issue on the back cover, there's a riddle written in hands. It's ASL. So if you translate it and solve the riddle, something shows up in your mailbox from one of the characters.
Yeah. Wow.
So you get to have that interaction
that's cool.
and they drop hints about what they know. You know what I mean? So, and it's addressed to George, it's addressed to Sam. So you get to, it's like you're there. And same thing with the short films, where it's like we talked in depth about the conspiracy theories and what people really think is going on. The third one is called Call to Action, and we talked about it last time, but it's like it's a dinner party. There's a lady getting upset because everybody's canceling on the dinner party, but they're telling her something is happening. Have you been watching the news? And she's too pissed off about having to cook for 12 people that all cancel. She's not paying attention until that whatever's happening on the news happens to her, right? And it happens, we show like a bunch of different people just at home painting their nails, watching TV, you know, doing the dishes, and then it all happens at the same time to all of them. There was a trigger and they all get taken out by this entity, the undead underground. So the undead start to fight back. So again, you don't see that in the comic, but you'll see it in the short films. And there's another one on the back of issue number 3. There's a QR code scavenger hunt. If you haven't done this, it's a blast. You don't have to solve anything. You don't have to think. You just scan all the QR codes, and there's fun trailers. There's a Rickroll. There's He-Man singing Four Non-Blondes. But there's like trailers to Pale Rider, which is a Clint Eastwood movie. There's trailers to Night of the Living Dead, Train to Busan, all sorts of stuff, anime, things like I think helped inspire me to write Path of the Pale Rider along my journey. But one of them is bonus material from Path of the Pale Rider. And you'll know which one it is when you find it. It's a little bit creepy. 25 people have found it already. So it's just something that you can watch and understand a little more about how the world works. So
that's awesome. Did you now I think it was the last campaign, maybe last campaign, the campaign before that, you had the Choose Your Own Adventure book. Is that still available in this campaign?
Of course. Yeah. We wrote that that came along with issue number 2, which was insane. Okay. I shouldn't have done it, but whatever.
Why? Why do you say that? Why do you say
because it's, you know, I had another print job and had to pay an artist and pay another cover, and I didn't anticipate it being as much as it was because we kickstarted for an issue, and then I did that on top of it. So it, like, you know, added all sorts of expenses. Good times. But you know what?
You learn. You learn. And let me tell you something. I got that book, and maybe I put you in a hole by ordering it, but it was good. It was really good, Lori. Like it was fun to. It reminded me of like the stuff that I used to read when I was a kid. Like I used to have a Batman Choose Your Own Adventure book. I used to love that book. So when I got your book, it was fun to kind of like be a kid again, read these books and say, okay, what happens?
Yeah.
Because you can die a lot of times. There's
a lot of times.
Tons of ways to die in this book.
100 ways to die in the West. Million ways.
It's
million
fun.
Ways.
Yeah, but it's
Thank
fun.
you.
It's fun. So
yeah, that one's
available,
great. You get to put on the hat and the boots, and you go run bounties in the apocalyptic West, and you have to use the logic of Path of the Pale Rider. And if you die, no big deal. You just go back and you do it again. You meet some really gnarly characters that show up later in the main story, which I think is hilarious. Because like there's a character named the Skinner who is absolutely terrifying and like breaks rules of the world. So he has a backstory. And but once you encounter him and you get killed by him a few times, you're like, okay, he's terrifying. But later on in the story, Jude St. Clair meets this guy and has no clue who he is. But you, George, who have read the Choose Your Own Adventure, know. Correct. And so when you see the Skinner, you're going to be like, turn around, turn around. Don't talk to that guy. Not and see, look what happened. You know what I mean? So it gives you a little more insight on the story coming as well. So, but yeah, you can add that as an add-on. It's great. I highly recommend it. It's a 60-page manga-sized book, perfect bound, with a wrap cover by Marco DeFio, which is beautiful. There's zombie brains popping out and a 7-Eleven on fire, and we burnt down a Target building in the back. It's great. Go look at it. But that's awesome. Available. I have metal covers on sale. We picked up metal covers with issue number 2. So issue number 2, issue number 3, metal covers were available for $100, and issue number 4, it's $75. So I dropped the price, and there's an add-on for metal cover for number 1. So if you've been collecting the metal issues, you could finish up like your 4-issue kind of bun. You know what I mean? Because like if it's a full-length movie, this is Act 1. So those 4 will be metal. We're going to start doing wood covers with issue number 5.
Damn, Lori, that's insane. Yeah. Holy cow, wood covers. All right. All right. Hey, listen, that's awesome. Well, you have 6 days left. You're getting close to 6,000. You have 107 backers.
Yeah, do you know what happens at 6,000?
What happens at 6,000?
The slice and dice.
Slice and dice.
Oh my gosh.
Slice and dice.
Do you remember this slice and dice?
No. Do you remember that thing?
All right,
Sam?
so I have stretch goals, right? And I
Uh-huh.
have same like Sam, I have backer number stretch goals and I have dollar amount stretch goals. So backer number, we've been releasing poker cards. So we unlocked
Those are
2 poker
cool.
cards
Yeah.
because we're at 100
Yeah.
backers. But at 6,000, the slice and dice is where I take a large fruit, or like last time we did a watermelon,
Oh, yes.
and
Okay.
I let the people vote on which weapon of destruction I use,
You named it,
right?
didn't you?
And then I let people name it. Yes. So this watermelon was named King Joffrey Baratheon because why? And on my Tuesday show, so I have a Tuesday show on the Madness Network called the Tuesday Morning Brew. I dressed up as Pikachu because why not? And smashed the heck out of this watermelon. Well, we're in October, so we're going to be smashing a pumpkin on Halloween
Okay.
on the
Oh,
Tuesday Brew because Halloween is on a Tuesday. So I have this funny GIF of me standing in front of a pumpkin patch with a sledgehammer, and then a pumpkin with a face like screams in the background. So if you go look down on the stretch goals, you'll see the GIF for that. It's really funny. So that's going to be coming. So I'm excited for that.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're close. What are you like? What, $65 away from it? So yeah, if you guys are watching and you want to see this happen, let's make it happen. $6,000 coming right up. Now the
Mhm.
campaign's got 6 days to go. How soon? Yeah, Lori's a new
I
gal
should
again.
totally, my TikTok would explode if I did.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
But wow, you have 5 days on yours. Okay,
Well, it just went at 8
Oh, it
o'clock.
just
It just
went.
switched to 5.
Oh, right, because you
It
launched at 8.
ends on Monday, October 16th at 8 p.m. Central. Right. So 9 p.m. Eastern. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. So yeah, this
I don't
is
know
this is
how that's
exciting
5
stuff.
days. Is it really? Good Lord.
Yeah, I know. 5 days doesn't even seem like it. Hey,
Hey.
yo. You know what I always also
Pops.
noticed in issue number 3 is the likenesses of some people. Pops just popped in here. Like, so you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I mean, I think your husband, who was the reporter or
Yes.
the anchor man
Yep.
on in issue number 3, he's in there, right? That's him, right?
Yeah.
That's
That's the fun
hilarious.
part is now like the short films pop up in the comics
Yeah.
and the comics pop up in the short films. So it's just like one big universe. Yeah, my husband was the news anchor in the
Yeah.
second short film. And as Jude St. Clair and his mom are watching the TV with all the current events, it's
Mhm.
that channel, it's WDED channel 13. And his name is Lewis Landon. And he's there telling the news. So it's weird, you know.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Okay, so those are Easter eggs. I have one more question about Easter
Yeah.
eggs in book number 3. Again, if you guys haven't picked it up, pick it up. There's I guess there's a woman who has died or whatever, and there's like her date of birth and she was born.
Oh,
Are
did
any
you
of
see
those?
it?
Yes. Are any of those dates, like, are any of those numbers something that pertains to you? Like, are there any hidden, like, I guess, Easter eggs in that ID that you have in there?
There is, but it's not the dates, it's the name.
Oh,
Who is
okay.
it?
I gotta
It
I
was
gotta look
C.A.
at.
Grant. It was
Oh,
Carissa.
it was it.
No, it doesn't look like her, but it's definitely, yeah, C.A. Grant. And I put some of this. Speaking of Carissa, oh my gosh. So she and I, no, don't worry about it.
No,
She
me.
and
I
I,
have something to say about this,
no,
but go
I
ahead.
know. I know about it. She and I have been kickstarting. No, we didn't. Yes, I did. I mean, technically, yes. In the comic, yes. You'll have to go read it, Don. Anyway, she and I always are kickstartering, but we never line up, right? So right now, she and I are both have a live campaign, and we always talk about like what Jude St. Clair would do in Worthy Chaos and like how our characters would all interact. So we thought it would be really funny because Jude is like a ladies' man. He loves beautiful women, but he's like respectful. So he would like kiss Seraphina's hand, and she would be like, "Who are you? And what do you want?" And then of course Draven would be in the background hulking. He's like hulking out of his shirt. He's so upset about someone touching Seraphina, right? Because those two are just like attached. So we decided to do some crossover art. This beautiful Jonas DaCosta, her main artist, drew it, and then Matt Chambers, my colorist, and then Matt Chambers is now attached to Worthy Chaos as well. So he See, consequences, right? So he colored it. So it's this blood moon weird universe crossover where Jude St. Clair needs to start running because Draven is coming to whoop him for touching Seraphina. So we had a good laugh at this. Of course, we added Big James and Anubis, which are our two big baddies in the comic that everybody loves. So you can get this for free if you back both Path of the Pale Rider and Worthy Chaos.
Right.
You will like them both. They're both action, drama, zombie, horror.
Yeah,
There's nothing to dislike here.
Yeah,
right.
No, you're right. Yeah, now Carissa's book is awesome. It's an awesome book. I actually have all of her.
I do too, man. I just got the wrap cover. It's right there. So I put the link here too. So that green where it says Worthy Chaos, all you gotta do is click there and it takes you right over to her campaign. Sweet. Yeah, Pops, you're gonna be getting one of these because you back both. You backed both. So he already automatically gets this. So I thought it was really cool. I wanted to make sure everybody knew that this was out here. I sent an update and I shared it on Facebook because again, I only got 6 days left. 5 days left.
5 days left.
Right. That's not a lot of days left. So if you want to take advantage of this, hop on it because her and I don't always line up Kickstarter wise. And we thought this would be a lot of fun.
That is a lot of fun. No, that's good stuff, Lori. I mean, listen, we can go on for hours about your world building here. But yeah, no, really. And I guess, Sam, I'm sorry, man. I've hogged it all up. I've hogged Lori up. But do you have any questions for Lori? I guess you guys got.
No, I'm going to give you the screen. I want you to deliver your elevator pitches the only way that you know how and let everybody know why they should back it.
Hi, everybody. If you like movies like Book of Eli, spaghetti westerns with some Walking Dead and a dash of Cocaine Bear, that is Path of the Pale Rider. We are dark. We have really such a new take on zombie culture where to me it's much more terrifying. It's not the zombies out to eat you, it's the zombies are you. And the government and the world itself becomes very difficult to navigate. And Jude St. Clair is 10 years into that apocalypse. He's the last guy still looking for the answer. It's out there and he does find it. So it's an incredible story. There's so much that's going to happen. And every issue we get further and further into the whys and the what's going on in this way. To finish up issue 4, issue 5, we are back in the future with Jude and Dwayne. You get to hear what Dwayne has to say about the beginning, and Jude starts moving towards his destination on his path again. We always do lots of fun stuff. Go check out all the add-ons and the tiers. We do crazy things. We do fun things to kind of balance out the darkness. So the slice and dice is right around the corner. We unlocked a PDF indie bundle with an additional 15 comics. So you get those for free. It's already unlocked. The koozies are unlocked. And the poker deck, we unlocked 2 cards of the poker deck. So those are unlocked as well. So it's a good time to get in here and pick out some stuff because we're just going to keep unlocking stretch goals and getting more goodies. So come along, you belong. Feel the fizz. I don't know. That's what I got.
Feel the fizz.
And make sure you tune in tomorrow for the new Anyone showcase. It's the same show. It's just a different time, and I am the new hostess. We're going to have a panel tomorrow. George will be there. He's going to show us. Sorry. Poor ASMR. I was putting in my ASMR voice. Now we're going to talk about pickles. No, we are not. But George is going to walk us around the New York Comic Con floor so we can experience what it looks like before the crazy starts to happen. And there's going to be a lot of other creators on there, so you get to meet more. I haven't met a lot of these creators from any one world yet either, so I'm very excited. It's going to be a fun show, and if you ask questions in the chat, you can win a prize. So make sure you come and you ask questions so that you can get a PDF bundle for free.
There you go. There you go. Lori, this has been awesome. I can't wait to finally meet you in person at some point one day.
Out
there in Texas. But, this is great. This is great. Maybe I'll get kicked in the face. I don't know. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe what?
Maybe I'll get kicked in the face.
I won't kick you in the face. No.
Kick him in the face. Kick him in the face.
Yo, Sam, what the? You see?
bam in the face. I just threatened to. I have really good control. So if I wanted to,
the breeze was like, I was like,
that's
whoa.
all that you needed. That's all you needed to understand what I was trying to communicate. No,
And
words
I was on
necessary.
her good side.
I was on my good side, but the
Damn.
comment you made, I was like, ooh,
Shots fired. Shots fired.
shots fired.
Oh God.
Ooh,
Can't
Stuff
wait to see that
stuff
vlog.
that happens, at cons.
I
I'll tell you
can't
what.
wait to see the vlog. I swear to
Yes,
God.
yes, it's gonna be fun.
Wow. All right. Well,
But,
listen, thank you
yes.
for coming on, Lori. We
Yes,
appreciate
thanks for
you
having me
so
on,
much.
guys. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see you for issue 5.
Yes.
And
Yes.
now I have to make an apology online to our friend. So thank you so much for coming on, Lori. We appreciate you though.
At least it was me. It could have been worse.
Yes, it could have been worse.
Bye-bye.
At
We'll
least
see
you
you
get some
soon.
promo. It's good.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
There you go. It worked out.
That's what happens.
All right.
All right. See you later.
All right.
Wow.
So yes, that was Lori doing what she does well. Again, if you haven't done so already, the link is in the chat. It's also in the summary of this YouTube channel. So go ahead and check out Path of the Pale Rider and give it a pledge. So yeah, now it's time for your apology.
Yes. So Miss Carissa Grant, Worthy Chaos, back her Kickstarter right now. So this is what happened.
So what happened was
we tell people all the time.
what did you do now?
If you want to book yourself on our show, do it in advance. Do it in advance because we get booked. Do it in advance because we get booked.
Did it.
Right? So Carissa was just doing the right thing. She hit me up back in April, and said, "Hey, George, I want to be on the show." I said, "Cool. Here's the Calendly link. Book yourself." She said, "Great." She went into the Calendly link, but because it was April, October wasn't open yet, and she knew that her Kickstarter was going to be in October. So I thought I was under the impression that she had booked herself. She said, "Hey, it's not open yet, but I'm looking at October 10th." So I was reading her message. I was like, "That sounds cool. All right, cool. I'll save the date." That was the last we heard, right, from each other for a while. She hits me up, and she sends me sometimes really cool images of the stuff that she's working on. But then she hits me up the other day, and she's like, "Hey, I'm ready for October 10th." I was like, "Cool, awesome, can't wait to talk to you." But she was under the impression that I booked the show for her, so she never booked herself. Instead, in comes Lori, and she booked herself for today. No fault of her own. So, Carissa, I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize for the goof up. We will have you on the show. I told already, Sam, as soon as January opens up, I don't know if you're around. But
January is open
up. All right. I will book Clarissa myself on the show, and she will be on with us for her next Kickstarter. So I do apologize.
George kept saying, "Don't we have Carissa?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I have the calendar. I see all the guests. I don't see her on the roster." He's like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, I'm sure." Yeah. And now, mind you, there was a lot of people that because for some reason Calendly opened up days that we don't record on. And so people booked those slots, and I had to reject them and say, "Hey, you need to reschedule because we don't record on those days." And I locked those days out. Right. She wasn't one of them. So that was like, no, I went through the archives and said she wasn't one of them that I sent an email to. Yeah, so Nightmare. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Willis.
Those comments.
Oh, she was there. Oh man, yeah, witnesses, kid.
Yeah. Bueno. No
yes,
bueno.
Yes. But anyway, so yeah. Carissa, I am booking you right now, so she will be on the show early next year. All right. Anyway,
but all right. So early next year, starting February, right after Clarissa, starting in February, the primary focus of Catch the Craze is going to be interviews, and not crowdfunding. We really want to just get to know you. We really want the audience to get to know you. There are 1,000 other podcasters and I'll provide you with all the links to contact them that'll bring you on just to promote your crowdfunding. But Catch the Craze was founded on storytelling and really about the creator and their process, their inspirations, all those things. So starting February, it'll be straight up interviews, really about promoting you. So if you don't like talking about yourself, go somewhere else. But if you want to talk about yourself, this is your home. I'm telling you, because if you don't like the questions, go somewhere else. But Catch the Craze is really about the creator and your journey and your play and your story. And I don't want it to be just a commercial show where every time we're always promoting something. Really just want to promote you. And really bring something to the audience for those aspiring creators out there that are trying to make their way into the game. I want them to walk away with something and some nuggets to be able to learn from, and hopefully maybe that they gravitate towards you because they find you compelling or relatable. That's the whole purpose of Catch the Craze, and that's what we're doing. So we're switching up the game come February, right after Clarissa, and we're just going to go straight into just the heart of the industry is really about the creator. So you heard it here. So if you're contacting me in February last minute, I got a Kickstarter, I'm gonna say go to Pops, go to any One World, go to Get Your Meds, go to this, go to that. But we're focusing on just the creator.
Yes. Actually, because if you notice, I mean, today we were talking to Lori, and we pulled up the campaign or whatever, but it was about the story.
Oh, you always back. My house is your house.
Yeah, it's about the story. When you send us the stuff, we read the books. It's not like you just send us stuff, because we like to talk about what you guys created. I know a lot about the world that Lori created because she sent us those books. And
not even that, but just listen to if you just listen to her.
But what I'm saying is that's how your story is important. What you're creating is important, and we want to talk about that. You know how many people talk about the stuff that Disney Plus is doing, or the stuff that whatever, and they get into conversations about what do you think is going to happen next in that world. That's the same energy we want to bring into indie comics. What do you think is going to happen in that world? You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Hey, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm blocking you right now. Look. I swear to God, I am. Stop laughing.
I don't know. He's got shifty eyes. Okay.
No, but to the point of that, we want to talk about your stories. We do. That's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about those things like they are on Netflix, like they are on Hulu, like they are on. We want to discuss them. I am interested in what you guys are creating. We're interested in all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So and just if you listen to tonight, just listening to Lori, right? She's extremely creative in her approach to her art form. There's so much to unpack that we really want to spotlight that creative process, the mindset behind branding and what you're doing and how you create your own path in the game. That's the story we want to share with you, and the goal is that they find you so compelling and so relatable and so appealing that they just go to your platform, or they go to your social media, they start following you, and then they go to your Kickstarter. But we don't want our primary focus to be a pitch. We want the primary focus to be the human being. And so let the world switch to pitching and AI and all that other stuff. We want to keep it real and keep it focused on the creator and the heart of the industry. And that's about you.
So bring your story. Get ready to talk about yourself.
Yes. Get ready, because we had, and so for all of you who don't like answering questions,
I just sent it to her. I can't.
Did you? Let me see. Did I get an alert?
You got an alert. Stop it.
I did get an alert.
You're lying.
I just want to say, I see it now. It's right there. Boom.
There you go.
I see it there.
You see?
For January 9th.
There you go.
Yes, I see it. It's on my. I got the alert, so it's there.
You're in.
See what happened, Clarissa?
Dummy.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I was like, yo, go talk to Sam, yo.
He's like, which way do you go, George? Which way do you go?
But
that's fantastic. Yes. No. So you guys heard it here. So if you start getting rejects in February, it's gonna be like, no, that's not the primary. I'm just letting you guys know. But with that said, November 4th, I will be at Geek Out for the grand opening, celebrating. It's an honor to be part of their grand opening. I was at Geek Out, one of the other stores, for Free Comic Book Day, and now this will be my second appearance for their branch. This is now they're opening a bigger place, and they're known for tabletop games and Dungeons and Dragons and all that other stuff, and they bring in a big squad of people. You guys are great. Trust me, it's not just you. 9 others forgot. Oh, no bueno. See, now I'm part of the 9 others. That sucks. But no, and so yes, that's gonna be fun. November 4th. Come down, meet me there. And that's the end for the rest of the year. But don't forget, There's an Alien in My Toilet is on Kickstarter right now. And if you haven't checked it out, check it out. This is book number 6. It's a milestone for an indie comic creator. That's just crazy. Nope, issue number 6. And again, if you pledge, just for pledging a physical pledge, you're going to get this print of Duty Juice. You can't go a day without Duty Juice.
No,
I'm just saying.
No, you didn't.
Vitamin C. So, go over to Kickstarter and get yourself a copy of issue number 6, Peekaboo ICU. There's Bobby, there's Brittany, there's Patrick, there's No Boo for You, Catching Ghosts of What We Do. There's the janitor, there's Agent Doe. All these, the world's coming in, closing in on Duty, and Herman's still trying to get the talking jalapeno. So there's a lot going down. It's funny. And every book, remember, has nothing but has a lot of puzzles and games and activities as well. And this issue features all of the fantastic artists that entered the art contest, including Lupin's. And so their art will be featured in the book as well. So this is a really jam-packed book. If you haven't picked up the series, all the back issues are available, and also the collected editions also available as well. So check out There's Name My Toilet on Kickstarter. And then George is going to be where?
I am going to be at the New York Comic Con this weekend at the Javits Center, October 12th through the 15th. If you are there, stop by booth 2040, pick up a book, pick up The Adventures of Wonder Duck. Everybody who picks up the first 15 guests that pick up The Adventures of Wonder Duck will receive a free print by Mr. Hector Rodriguez, who will also be at the show, so get it signed.
He's a talented artist, man.
He's going to be at 2136. Yeah, he's going to be at booth 2136. So come by, say hello. I'm going to be there with Johnny C at booth 2040. I will be there tomorrow to set up. I will be on with Lori Calcaterra at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be walking around the show floor before it gets crazy. So tune in for that tomorrow.
Is tomorrow night preview night, or is it Thursday?
No, do they do preview nights anymore on Wednesday? They used to. I don't know if they're doing that tomorrow.
Is it Thursday?
It might be Thursday. Yeah. Because it's going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah,
so we're
Thursday's
going to be there. Yeah, so we'll be there all 4 nights. So make sure you stop by. If you want to pick up Russ 5377 digitally, go to anyoneworld.com and pick that up. If you put in podcast at the at checkout, you will get a 15% discount on the book. So check that out. And yeah, man, we're going to be doing that. Also, on the 16th, next week, I'm going to be on a show with Mr. Hades, Shoot the Ish. We're going to be talking about Superman actors, your favorite Superman actors. So check that out. Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. So check that out. We have a special sponsor, Mr. Samuel Vera. We'll be talking a little Duty. So check that out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. And yeah, man, that's all I got for tonight.
Then don't forget, come back next week. We're going to have none other than Michael Sammartino on the show.
Mike is on.
Yes, Michael's coming on.
So I think he's debuting his Indiegogo campaign.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so he's launching it. He's going to
be launching. He'll be launching his Indiegogo campaign next week, right here on Cast the Craze. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So join us here. And don't forget, this weekend, my new vlog is going to be from College Station, where I talk about, they try to break into my room. And I meet a dudester that captured the voice of Duty and reenacted the voice. And a vendor, a comic book vendor that's actually a follower of the art channel as well. So there's a lot to unpack on this weekend on the art channel. And I'll be this coming week, I'll be streaming live drawing a couple of days this week. So I'll be off. I'll be on vacation this week. So I'm going to catch up, get some live streams going and working on the pages for issue number 6 of There's Name on My Toilet. So if you want, join me on the live stream. I'll be drawing live, answering questions, and having fun.
Yeah. One more thing, Sammy, before we go. My channel is up. Get Your Meds on YouTube. So check that out. I actually have my first interview on there. It's live right now. So check that out. Make sure you go to Get Your Meds on YouTube and check out the Hades interview that I did with him. Next week, Dustin Brunel is going to be the person that's going to be interviewed. That airs on Wednesday, the 17th. Yeah.
Just be careful trying to book on his show. Just saying.
Why?
Because you might forget. So
no. These are pre-recorded, bro.
That's the best way to go. Pre-recorded.
Yeah, we're good. We're good to go.
That's a lot of views. But yeah. So I mean, another great night, another great guest. Again, Path of the Pale Rider on Kickstarter right now. 5 days left. Get your copy today. And There's Name on My Toilet Also, we're on week 1 is done. So we got 3 weeks left of the campaign. So go and check it out. And with that said, everybody's giving hugs and kisses and all that other stuff.
It's a lovely show. It's
So,
love.
yeah,
it's
it is
all
a
love.
lovely
It's
show.
all love up in here.
Yes. With that said, I'm Sib, the crazy man, Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are out. It's just easy. It's not.
Acquiesce.
No, it's about my friend Acquiesce. I met say my name, say my name. Right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh, my.
He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze.
You're listening to Catch the Craze.